And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
Oh, hey there, you curious little kitty cats and dogs digging for wisdom. I'm Dr. Craig Ingstrom, but you can just call me Craig because I'm a people pleaser. Do you want the words of your next speech to resonate like thunder across a cathedral? Well, then you better hit those consonants with consonance. And while we're talking about hitting things, tippity tap that like button on your screen. It might generate a teeny tiny bit of karma in your life today. In this episode of Figuratively Speaking, first, what is consonance? Then the value of it. Then 3 examples from speeches. Finally, an outro with some great hits and details about a contest. First, what is consonance? According to Merriam-Webster, consonance is the correspondence or recurrence of consonants. D, k, p, t, that sort of thing. Especially at the end of stressed syllables without the similar correspondence of vowels. For example, stroke of luck is consonance, whereas stroke of genius really is not. The k sound is what crushes it. So, what's the value of using consonants? Here's 3 uses. Foremost, consonants can give your writing or speech rhythm. It just sounds better. What if Kennedy had said, "My fellow Americans, ask not what the U.S. does for you, ask yourself what you can do for it"? Yeah, no. Second, consonance is perfect for openings and closing of speeches, allowing you to capture the attention of an audience just with the words or pull a final punch at the end just with words. Lou Gehrig, for example, opened and closed his farewell speech with consonants. Fans, for the past 2 weeks, you have been reading about the bad break I got. So, I close in saying that I may have had a tough break, but I have an awful lot to live for. Third, consonants can make your writing more concise. For example, when I originally wrote the line, "Finally, an outro with some great hits and details about a contest," I wrote "Finally, an outro with all the greatest hits and details about winning a prize." But I immediately recognized great hits and details about a contest had more rhythm. Of course, contest details would be even better, but then it would not make much sense in context. Stick around, by the way, until the end of this video for those details. Having explained consonants and the value of it, let's turn our attention towards 3 examples. Example 1 is from Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream speech. He notes, "I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, the sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood." Now, one could argue that the consonance is just by chance, of course, but it is still consonance. But why not the hills of Georgia, but red hills? I suspect Dr. King wanted to create the rhythm with the R's, which could have been broken with such a long gap between dream and Georgia. The second example is from President Franklin Delano Roosevelt's 1933 Inauguration speech. He notes, "So, first of all, let me assert my firm belief that the only thing we have to fear is fear itself." Could have just been belief, but firm belief with a word beginning with F, and a word ending with F pairs well with the same pattern in fear itself, which, by the way, is a perfect syllable and letter match. That is by no accident. The final example comes from the Amanda Gorman poem read at the 2021 inauguration of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. The speech is one alliteration consonants and assonants after another, but here is 2 quotable examples.
We've seen a force that would shatter our nation rather than share it, would destroy our country if it meant delaying democracy. And this effort very nearly succeeded. But while democracy can be periodically delayed, it can never be permanently defeated. Build, reconcile, and recover in every known nook of our nation, in every corner called our country. Our people, diverse and beautiful, will emerge battered and beautiful. When day comes, we step out of the shade, aflame and unafraid. The new dawn blooms as we free it. For there is always light, if only we're brave enough to see it, if only we're brave enough to be it.
And so, I have explained what consonance is, why and how to use it, and provided 3 excellent examples. Let's depart with some of the greatest hits you know, like "All's Well That Ends Well," "Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers," "A Blessing in Disguise." So, now it's your turn. Share an example of consonants in the comments, or download a copy of my script available as a link in the description, and tell me how many strategically used examples of consonants you think I used. Every so often, I'll return back to this video and do a random drawing for some prizes and announce the winner in a future video. Anyone who's commented will be a contender for various types of booty. So comment now and comment often. The early bird might just get the worm.